Hey, greetings, everyone. It's Josh here, husband, author, try to be a man of character, of course, entrepreneur, business owner. And this month, I'm highlighting amazing projects that I'm working on for clients, but also some of the projects I'm working on either for myself or with others. And today is such a day. Today, I have my good friend, brother, mentor, brother Malcolm Thomas, and just kind of want to talk about some of the things that we collectively have going on. So, please introduce yourself and take it from here.
Great. Well, I'm glad to be here. My name is Malcolm Thomas. Some people know me as Minicat. So if you hear that name, that's me too. I've been working with Brother Josh now for, I don't know, since 2010 maybe?
Yeah,
Something
it's
like
been a
that.
while.
We've been working together for a while. And what I do is try to work in the fields of education, health, community development, and various things that impact quality of life for young people and their caregivers so that we can have a better world.
That's it. Yeah. So, with that being said, one of the things that we have collectively that we've been working on, and of course, we won't go into the history in this particular video, is the maximizer. And
Yeah.
one of the things that we're just these huge advocates for is being individuals of character, high characters. And character are strengths. Character isn't just weakness. It's also about being able to confront. It's not just about being strict and rigid, but it's also about being able to be adaptable and to bend and so on and so forth. So basically, if you could just speak to that about like why is character important in particular in today's time?
Well, the reasoning behind our approach toward person development and shaping behavior and performance and life outcomes is we believe that the foundation for success and the foundation for sustainable success that is mutually beneficial, meaning it benefits not just you, but makes you someone who's significant in and with toward the greater whole is character. Um, Throughout history, we have seen people who are very, very well educated, very, very well endowed, they're talented, um, well positioned, people who have might, arms, money, all those things. But none of those things really make someone a true asset to themselves or others long term without what we feel is the foundation, which is character. And for us, character isn't just being nice, it just isn't being kind. It's a set of strengths, and we also call them powers that enable you to not only have success in your own life, but to have a success that benefits everybody else simultaneously. So, which gives you power.
Yeah.
And we believe that it also allows you to become a source of empowerment for others. And so, in our system, which is the maximizer system, we have identified 22 powers or virtues that we feel like a complete set that enable you to have success and empowerment across life situations and within yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we're talking about the maximizer, ultimately we've initially started this for the young men that we were working with. I
Right.
mean, I mentioned I'm an author, best-selling author, male by birth, man by choice. And of course the work that you've been doing with the Reaching Back program, so forth. We basically collaborated and put our talents and skills together to create a unified system, which is the maximizer.
Right.
Initially starting with the young men, but will ultimately evolve into not only young girls but also adults as well.
Yeah.
In general. I guess if you could just briefly talk about our framework, like the
Right.
life skills,
Right.
the various components that we have within our system that makes it something that's extremely unique.
So I'm gonna start first with our first framework is we have these big ideas.
Yeah.
We have these big ideas. And the first big idea is there's a leadership crisis in the world.
Yep.
That there's a leadership that lacks enlightenment and lacks morality. You can decide where that is, who that is, and what that looks like. But we believe that the most important quality that we can be cultivating in people is leadership. Because everybody needs to lead your own life, if nothing else, right?
Yes.
But also to be able to qualify to be in positions of authority and influence, we believe that you have to have certain character traits to make your influence and authority legitimate.
Yes.
So to rectify that leadership crisis, our second big idea is we have to have character. We have to have people We believe character is the foundational and core element that creates a truly valuable life and successful life. And character, once again, isn't just being nice and being sweet, but a set of virtues, and we have 22 of them. The third big idea is that in addition to character, you have to understand that we're a two-part being.
Yes.
Right? There's a part of us that, knows and a part of us that does. And so we deal with both domains. So we deal with thought and we also deal with energy. So we have to deal with the part of us that kind of the two things that shape and guide our behavior, to really put things into play is how we're thinking, how we're seeing something, how we're feeling and functioning.
Exactly.
Right? So we deal with both. We believe that duality, you have to deal with both sides of that coin to have success. Sometimes you can have the right information, but if you don't have any energy underneath that pot, it's still going to be cold, right? If you have a bunch of energy, but you're misguided and have the wrong ideas, you can be going 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction. Fourth idea is that, in order to be successful in life, we have to relate to people effectively. So one of our main big ideas is our roles. We have 5 different ways that we relate. We relate as a subordinate, as a peer, as a partner, as a caretaker, and there is a way that we relate to ourselves that determines our ultimate core success.
Right.
So the foundation for the manhood maximizer is the first role is the son. So how do you learn to prepare, to receive, and to serve? And to purify yourself, qualify yourself to even be somebody who's ready to embark upon life, to take, to get your life started. We call that an initiate, by the way. The second thing is the role is as the peer or as the brother. How do you act platonically, become a part of a group so that you're fitting in, but then you also are to assert yourself so that you don't lose yourself in the group, right? How do you interact in a situation where there's no adult supervision sometimes and learn how to navigate the group dynamics of peer groups of relative equals, where power dynamics start to come in, right? How do you then, role number 3, interact as a partner, which is the mate or the husband? You know, how do you intimately get close to somebody and learn who you really are in an intimate setting? I often say before I was married, I didn't even know myself fully because I had never been that close to anybody before, right? I've never been that close to anybody before. So you can't know yourself by yourself. The fourth thing is the father. How do you interact when you are responsible for a group or an individual and to be able to love multiple people equally but treat them differently? How to be able to be responsible for the care and the nurturance of others? And lastly, what is the relationship between you and you? Yeah. The part of you that knows and the part of you that does. The part of you that sees and the part of you that feels. The part of you that wants more, but the other part of you that wants to be, or it has an urge to stay the same and to be comfortable. So how do you bring those together? That's these are our big ideas. And I'll give you 2 more. Another big idea is that you have to have also certain skills. In addition to virtues and character, you have to know how to do certain things. You need some know-how. And rather than look at the array of things you need to know, we looked at 8 major sets of skills or vital competencies that you have to have, capacities rather.
Well, what are those quickly?
And those are quickly. The first is energy cultivation. You have to know how to successful people and significant people have more energy. And they tend to have more energy, right? But what if you're not born with that? What if you don't feel like that on a given day? So you have to know how to bring your energy up, to get it to where it needs to be, and to make it do what you need to make it do. That we call that energy cultivation. How to make your energy work for you each and every day. One of the things we say is one of our quotes: if you don't cultivate the energy to make things happen in your life, each day you'll wake up with just enough energy to be a victim of circumstance. Behavior modification, that's the next one. You have to learn how to assimilate ideas and information to make it a part of how you feel and function, right?
Yes.
We say to know and not do is to not know. So how do you take an idea and make it a part of how you behave and how you behave without thinking about it anymore, right? So learning is one of the most important skills. Yes. In life. As a matter of fact, if you look at energy cultivation and behavior modification, those are the 2 core skills around which the other things are built. You can change your energy and you can change your behavior. You can change anything else. If you look at most systems in history, They become very, very good at that. People who can change their energy state, who could change their mind and their habits, you can change your life. You can help anyone else change their life.
Yes.
Skill 3 is effective communication. We call that relaying. How do you convey information to people in written form, in verbal form, and non-verbally to send the message that you want and to create connection that you're seeking? Relating. How do you attract, harmonize, and create bonds between people? You know, sometimes coming together, as we know, is much easier than staying together. As my mentor also taught me, staying together is easier than working together. Lastly, we have our self-regulation. How do we control and manage our own states? Goal setting and realization. How do we manifest, as people would like to say, our objectives and intentions? How do we critically reason and think, which is a result of the other ones that come before it? And how do we set structures and create systems and order in our lives? So organize and structure as a skill set. Yeah. So those are the 8 skills.
Yeah, absolutely. Sets. So yeah, that's 8 skill sets. So we got some amazing things coming that we're going to be launching in 2026 that's really going to change humanity and how we interact with one another and how we interact with ourselves as well. So be on the lookout for that. So I appreciate your time today for today's session. Be in tune for more insights that we're going to be sharing not only throughout this month but also throughout 2026. Appreciate you for being on this journey with myself, and I appreciate you, Brother Malcolm, for being here today.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Talk to you soon.
Peace.